Imagine a world where scorching summer days can abruptly give way to a midsummer snowstorm. Picture yourself enjoying a warm, sunny day at the beach, only to find it transformed into a snowy wonderland within hours. This might sound like a scene from a science fiction movie, but it is becoming an unsettling reality. This is the alarming reality of temperature flips, sudden and dramatic shifts in temperature that are becoming increasingly common around the globe. These fluctuations are not just isolated incidents. They are part of a growing pattern that scientists are observing with increasing concern. These extreme swings from intense heat to bitter cold and back again are not merely meteorological curiosities. They are symptomatic of a larger, more troubling trend in our climate system. The rapid changes can catch people off guard, leaving them unprepared for the sudden shift in conditions. They pose significant threats to human health, disrupt ecosystems, and jeopardize our very way of life. Imagine the strain on emergency services as they try to respond to heat stroke cases one day and frostbite the next. The impact on wildlife is equally severe, as animals and plants struggle to adapt to the erratic weather patterns. The danger of temperature flips lies in their unpredictability and severity. Weather forecasts can only do so much to prepare us for these sudden changes. The rapid shifts can lead to dangerous situations, such as roads becoming icy without warning or heat waves turning into cold snaps overnight. Our bodies, our infrastructure, and our natural world are simply not equipped to cope with such rapid and extreme temperature fluctuations. Buildings designed for one climate may not withstand the sudden changes, leading to structural damage. People may find themselves dressing for both summer and winter in the same day, struggling to stay comfortable and safe. Farmers face ruined crops due to unexpected frosts, which can devastate entire harvests and lead to food shortages. The agricultural sector is particularly vulnerable, as crops are often planted and grown based on predictable seasonal patterns. When these patterns are disrupted, the consequences can be dire. Vulnerable populations, such as the elderly and children, struggle to cope with heat waves followed by sudden chills. These groups are less able to regulate their body temperatures and are more susceptible to the health risks posed by extreme weather. The sudden changes can exacerbate existing health conditions and lead to increased mortality rates. The delicate balance of nature is thrown into disarray, impacting everything from bird migrations to plant life cycles. Birds may find their migratory paths disrupted by unexpected weather, leading to confusion and increased mortality. Plants may bloom out of season, affecting the entire ecosystem that depends on their predictable cycles. As the planet warms due to human-induced climate change, these temperature flips are becoming more frequent, more intense, and more unpredictable. The melting of glaciers and rising sea levels are just some of the visible signs of the broader changes taking place. Wildfires followed by snowstorms are no longer anomalies but part of a new, unsettling normal. What was once a rare occurrence is now a disturbing trend, a stark reminder of the profound ways in which we are altering the Earth's climate system. Historical weather data compared to current extreme events shows a clear pattern of increasing anomalies. This trend is a wake-up call for humanity to take urgent action. The very fabric of our seasons is unraveling, leaving in its wake a world of extremes. The predictable rhythm of spring, summer, fall, and winter is giving way to a chaotic mix of weather events. This new normal challenges our ability to adapt and underscores the need for immediate and sustained efforts to combat climate change. Since the 1960s, scientists have observed a disturbing trend. The Earth's average temperature has been steadily rising, with data showing a clear and consistent upward trajectory. This trend has been meticulously documented through decades of research and countless studies, all pointing to the same alarming conclusion. Our planet is warming at an unprecedented rate. The most dramatic increases in temperature have occurred in recent decades, a period marked by rapid industrialization and significant increases in greenhouse gas emissions. The visual evidence is stark and undeniable. Glaciers that have existed for millennia are now retreating at an alarming pace, and ice caps that once seemed eternal are shrinking year by year. This warming trend is not uniform, however. Instead, it is characterized by increasingly erratic weather patterns, including a marked increase in the frequency and intensity of temperature flips. These fluctuations manifest in various forms, from severe storms and heat waves to unexpected blizzards and cold snaps, creating a chaotic and unpredictable climate landscape. Our planet's climate system is becoming increasingly unstable, prone to wild swings that disrupt the predictable rhythms of nature. the once reliable seasonal cycles are now fraught with anomalies, making it difficult for ecosystems and human societies to adapt. This instability is a clear indicator of the profound changes taking place in our environment. The baseline against which we measure normal weather is shifting at an alarming pace. What was once considered an unusually hot summer or an exceptionally cold winter is now becoming commonplace. This shift in the baseline means that our expectations of what constitutes normal weather are constantly being recalibrated, often with dire consequences. Regions accustomed to temperate climates are experiencing record-breaking heat waves followed by unseasonal cold snaps. These extreme fluctuations are not just statistical anomalies, they are tangible evidence of a planet in distress. The impacts are felt across the globe, affecting everything from agriculture and water supply to human health and biodiversity. In cities, heat waves are becoming more frequent and intense, putting immense strain on infrastructure and public health systems. Conversely, regions that typically enjoy mild winters are now facing unexpected cold snaps, catching residents and local authorities off guard. These temperature anomalies are reshaping the way we live and interact with our environment. These extreme fluctuations are not just statistical anomalies, they are tangible evidence of a planet in distress. The consequences of this shifting baseline are far-reaching, affecting every aspect of life on Earth. From the food we eat to the air we breathe, the impacts of climate change are pervasive and profound. The consequences of this shifting baseline are far-reaching. Floods, wildfires, and droughts are becoming more common and more severe, wreaking havoc on communities and ecosystems. These events are not isolated incidents, but part of a broader pattern of environmental disruption that threatens the stability of our world. Human health is at risk as our bodies struggle to adapt to dramatic temperature swings. Heat waves can lead to heat stroke and other heat-related illnesses, while unexpected cold snaps can cause hypothermia and exacerbate existing health conditions. Hospitals and healthcare systems are increasingly burdened by the health impacts of extreme weather. Infrastructure designed for specific climatic conditions is increasingly vulnerable to damage from extreme weather events. Roads, bridges, and buildings are being tested by conditions they were never designed to withstand, leading to costly repairs and, in some cases, catastrophic failures. Engineers and city planners are now faced with the daunting task of redesigning our built environment to cope with a changing climate. And the natural world, from the smallest insects to the largest mammals, is struggling to cope with the unpredictable rhythms of a changing climate. Species are being forced to migrate to new habitats, often with devastating consequences for local ecosystems. The delicate balance of nature is being upended, leading to a cascade of effects that threaten biodiversity and the health of our planet. The evidence of increasingly frequent and severe temperature flips can be seen in dramatic weather events around the globe. These events are not isolated incidents, but part of a larger, more troubling pattern that scientists have been observing for years. The planet's climate system is becoming increasingly erratic, with weather phenomena that were once considered rare now occurring with alarming regularity. In 2020, the Rocky Mountains were blanketed in a September snowstorm that shattered temperature records. This event was particularly shocking because it came on the heels of a summer that had been unusually warm, making the sudden shift to winter conditions all the more jarring. This unseasonal blizzard, which dumped feet of snow on a landscape still green with summer vegetation, caused widespread power outages, disrupted transportation, and resulted in millions of dollars in damages. The heavy, wet snow brought down trees and power lines, leaving thousands without electricity for days. Roads became impassable, stranding travelers and delaying emergency services. Just a few years earlier, in 2012, much of North America experienced an unprecedented false spring. This phenomenon occurs when warm temperatures arrive unusually early, tricking plants and trees into thinking that spring has arrived. Unusually warm temperatures in early March coax trees and flowers into bloom weeks ahead of schedule, only to be devastated by subsequent hard freezes. The early bloom was followed by a series of cold snaps that killed off the tender new growth, leading to significant losses in fruit and nut crops. Farmers were left scrambling to salvage what they could, but the damage was already done. This meteorological roller coaster, a stark example of a temperature flip, resulted in billions of dollars in agricultural losses and served as a stark reminder of the economic toll of climate change. The financial impact was felt not just by farmers, but by entire communities that rely on agriculture as a primary source of income. The ripple effects extended to local businesses, schools, and even healthcare services, highlighting the interconnected nature of our economy and environment. These are just two examples of a growing list of extreme weather events linked to climate change. From devastating floods to prolonged droughts, from unprecedented heat waves to unseasonal cold snaps, the variety and intensity of these events are increasing. Each new incident adds to the mounting evidence that our climate is changing in ways that are both unpredictable and dangerous. The fingerprints of human activity are increasingly evident in the erratic behavior of our planet's climate system. Industrial activities, deforestation, and the burning of fossil fuels have all contributed to the accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, trapping heat and disrupting natural weather patterns. As we continue to alter the composition of our atmosphere, the consequences are becoming more severe and more difficult to ignore. The urgency to address these issues has never been greater, as the window for meaningful